Welcome to episode number 7 of the Financial Finesse Podcast. I'm Cathy Curtis, your host, and a financial advisor who specializes in the finances of independent women based in Oakland, California. Today, I'm interviewing 3 women who own retail businesses in Oakland. I wanted to discover what their experiences was like running a business during the pandemic. Joyce Gardner owns Fit Clothing Boutique. Jonelle Mancha owns Mignon Decor. And Andre Serran owns Serana Boutique. All of these stores are based in the Rockridge neighborhood in Oakland, which is a thriving commercial district. I hope you enjoy our discussion. Hi, ladies. Thank you all for joining me on my podcast, Financial Finesse. It's really good to see all of you.
You too.
Great to see you too.
So thank you so much, because you 3 represent successful small business retail business owners. And as we all know, things have gotten quite difficult since March with the pandemic, but also prior to that, you had the onslaught of online shopping, right? So over the combined 18, how many years? So Jonelle, you've been in business 14 years with Mignon Decor. Saran, you've been with Serana for 18 years. And
Correct.
Joyce, you've been with Fit for 18 years. So very experienced long-term retailers. And I know our audience is going to love hearing from you and what you're experiencing right now. So there 2 of you are fashion retailers and 1 is home decor. And I think there's probably some differences between what's happening with your businesses right now based on what you're selling. Because you're not all the same. Even selling clothing, you're selling totally different types of clothing, and we'll get into that. And Andreas, I'm sorry, I called you Serana. That's the name of your store.
Okay, that's right.
So let's start with Andrea. I want to ask you, you have a very unique business selling clothing that is Indian themed. You actually design your own clothes. You've probably built up a great following, and you sell jewelry and all kinds of beautiful things. And what has happened with your business over the last few months?
Well, like most retail businesses, we've all suffered a big hit and a big change in terms of walk-in business. Everyone, took cover and didn't come out of hiding for a while. And then finally, when the city of Oakland and the mayor declared it safe under the, protocols of safe social distancing and masks, etc., I started taking clients by appointment. But meanwhile, I still had clients who wanted to shop, who love shopping, who want to support me, who still want to get dressed every day and wear color. So they'd reach out to me by email, phone, text, and say, "I need something. Help. What do you have for me?" And it was really nice to have that kind of connection. And I have been building up an online presence for some years now, not wanting to go online, but here we are. This is the moment, right? If anyone stepped in my shop, they would recognize the abundance of inventory that I carry, and the idea of going online is really daunting. However, I have used these moments of COVID and downtime to use models and do really lush, passionate, sensual photo shoots and post those on Instagram and Facebook. And that's been driving me a lot of business.
That's fantastic.
And all of that is going to, all those images that I've been creating, I do about 2 or 3 shoots a week. So I'm getting about 25 to 30 images, different looks. That's all feeding into this new website that I'm creating with the help of a designer.
Okay, so you've thought about, you have not had a true online presence yet. You're building up to it, and then you're going to do your website to actually sell off of it.
Right. I've had online presence in terms of Instagram and Facebook,
yes,
but the e-commerce aspect is going to be amplified with the new website. Yes.
Okay, good for you. Okay, we're going to get back into that more, but I'm going to go to Jonelle. So you sell home decor and decorating. You go to people's homes and help them decorate their homes, and you
Yeah.
also have a retail store that sells. So what I've been reading is actually your part of the business, home decor, is actually doing really well right now because people have to be at home so much. Have you felt that and seen that trend in your business?
Yeah, I mean, I think just kind of like Andrea, the first initial, like, oh my gosh, our store has to be closed. It's a little bit of a panic. Yes, you're right that people are sheltering in place and kind of thinking about their homes on bigger scales. And now we're seeing like my interior design, I'm picking up. I've locked down some really fun projects. But yeah, I definitely, it's not like I would say that has just like replaced all of our foot traffic and everything. But yes, you're absolutely right that we are lucky that people are in their homes and reaching out to us for different projects and things like that. Yeah.
Right, good. And Joyce, your head's a little, can you lift up a little bit? There you go.
It was so short. Okay, I'm standing up.
Joyce, I know your shop well because I'm a loyal customer of
Yes, you are.
Joyce's, and she's been selling women's fashion for a long time. And so, Joyce, what has your experience been over since March, let's say?
Well, the thing was, the original edict for retail didn't work for us. Curbside delivery, which meant nothing because what does that mean? Our women like to come in, touch and look at new things and try it on. You can't try it on and have curbside delivery. It just didn't work. So when we actually opened in June 19th, yay! But so what? People aren't out shopping. But we were working by appointment, which really helped because I called my good customers and they would come in. And I did post on Instagram new things because I'm not very into, doing a lot of online things because it doesn't work for a personal business like what we do. We've been in the neighborhood 18 years. So we built up a good clientele. So I would call them or they would say, send me some pictures and I would send them pictures of the new things and I'd send it to them, free shipping, get a free mask. So they were really happy with that. But the nature of retail has been going downhill anyway after the recession and online shopping. So how do you keep customers happy and continually, wanting to come to see you? But see, neighborhoods will survive because people aren't going anywhere. They're not venturing far. So they do want to support local people. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so you brought up three different things. You brought up the recession, which I'm assuming you mean the 2007, 2009 recession.
2008, yes.
Yeah, and then Amazon, or we'll just call it Amazon.
Which killed every business, yes.
And then now the pandemic, three whammies, right?
Yeah.
Have Jonelle and Andrea, have you felt all three of those as well? You've all been in business through those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I feel like, that's just kind of going back to what it means to be a small business owner, especially when you've been open all these years. It's like when the whammies hit you, you channel that like drive that first initiated the whole concept of opening your own business. It's like you have to depend on that.
Right. And is that enough to get you through? I mean, I know you all probably have a real passion for what you're doing, but you also have to pay the bills. And and you've been in business a long time. Has there ever been moments in those years where you've thought, oh my God, I just can't do this anymore? Joyce, do you want to kick in?
Well, we have a lot of sleepless nights. Let's put it like that. There's a lot of anxiety, but you got to have, the reason why you are in business because you have a belief that, you can make this work. And it's not like most businesses have making a ton of money. It's not about that. It's because you care about what you do and you do care about your customer. So there is this thing where we are, and most of our customers are women, right? They're not men. Because men don't spend money, we know that. So our consumer is a woman, yes. And we do care about them. They understand we have a relationship with them, whether we're dressing them for their body or their home. We are trying to take care of them, and that's what I believe in, And I
Yeah.
do want them to feel better about themselves and feel good about being in their home, what they do, because we have a lot of responsibilities. A lot of them are retired, but they also are mothers. They've got husband, you know, they got things going on in their lives. Right now, nothing's going on. So to get them to buy something is a challenge. So
Have you shifted the things that you buy, given that most people are at home in their comfies?
yeah, so you know, the other term that I hated, that was that sloppy chic. So I think women are ready to get out of their stupid sweats and their yoga clothes. That's enough. You know, we dress for ourselves too, not because we have to go somewhere all the time. You know, because we do like to feel good. I mean, I still put makeup on. I still get my, you know, comb my hair. And men don't give a shit. You know, they could be on Zoom and look like hell, but we still care about how we look. You know, it's our face to the world. And our home now, we're spending a lot of time there. So I'm doing a lot more projects with my house than I've ever done. So,
Great, Mignon. Would you know?
yes,
Jonelle would
get on my chair. Where's my
love
chair?
some of your business.
No,
But you know,
Andrea,
it'll work.
I've done stuff for her. No, I just think, you know, to answer your question about, you know, would I ever consider, I think it's just, I think it goes back to the community and like what a small business brings. So we've been having an online presence for a long time and people can shop and, you know, obviously we've ramped that up, you know, as of late. It's but really, like, what do you want your community to look like? Do you want empty storefronts? Do you want to walk, you know, people love walking, you know, on College Avenue, and that is to pick back up. So I think it's also really important, just as consumers, you know, there's enough, you can buy something on Amazon, but you can also enjoy a coffee and a stroll. And is that ever something you're not going to want to do in your life? Like, I don't think so, you know. I mean, so
I
it's
so
about,
agree with you. I should have said earlier that all of you have your stores in a neighborhood in Oakland called Rockridge, which is a super popular neighborhood, great walking neighborhood. It's so sad to me that there's so many storefronts that are boarded up in Rockridge. And that's not only because of COVID, there's other reasons, landlords and things like that. And if it happens that small retail dies out, I'll be the first one to cry, because it really is something that local bookstores, local clothing stores, eateries, everything about it, coffee shops, it's such a pleasure. And to see a mix of stores, like when your store went in, Jonelle, I was so happy because it wasn't another hair salon or nail salon. It was actually a great retail store that you could walk in and enjoy looking and maybe buying something. So,
yeah. And
and
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
no, I mean, I just feel like, you know, when people travel and you know, when you go, like, that's kind of something we try to bring at Mignon, is like this artistic experience that, you know, like Joyce said, and Andrea, it's like you go and there's a little bit of a wonderland, and, you know, you're selling things that, you know, are special and artistic. And so I think people, how do we drive that connect of like, yeah, the small purchases for a small business really add up, you know, be it a $50 purchase.
Okay.
So
That's interesting. That's maybe a good point to bring up a little bit. It's not, you're not just looking for the big purchase or the big engagement.
yeah.
Someone that walks in and buys a vase is
Mhm.
every
Yeah.
bit as an important customer as someone that engages you for
And we'll
more.
gift wrap it.
Yeah, there you
Pretty,
go.
you know, but yeah,
Right, the service.
I want to hear more from Andrea.
Yeah, me too. Andrea, you want to
Oh,
chime?
I agree with Janelle's point there. Like when I had my door open to the public more than I do now, the casual drop-in person who was going next door to have dinner or had just come from across the street and had lunch. Oh, look at this cute shop. I feel like I'm in India. Well, you kind of are. And look at these earrings. These are fabulous. And oh, how cool. And you work with the artisans and you design some of this. Oh my gosh. So there's $50 and there's, you know, 75 and there's 35. And that does add up.
Mm-hmm.
That does add up. And that helps a lot. A little goes a long way. And people always say, oh, I'm going to be back because I'm going to get gifts here. I'm going to get gifts here. And so they want a resource where they can just pop in and get a easy grab gift. So I'm going to loop back around to the whole thing of boarded up storefronts.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it's sadly, but I do have a boarded up storefront. I chose to do that when the looting and the rioting broke out. I have a lot of inventory and a lot of precious things. And I was like, I am not going to fall prey to this. There's just no way. Insurance or whatever, I'm just not going to deal with the shenanigans of all this. So my partner's a contractor. He put up a rather elaborate boarding system and we painted it nicely. And so now I don't have a bunch of people coming in buying those $35, $50, $75 gifts, but I have time to focus on my website. And I have time to focus on the bigger picture, the next level, the next place.
Yeah.
And my regulars know I'm here. They'll bypass the green plywood and come in. They know I'm here.
Right.
And they all say, no, don't take it down. Wait till after the election. Just wait.
Oh,
And
that's interesting.
Yeah, I get a lot of support on that. And I'm glad, because I was having sleepless nights when I wasn't protected. And now I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
But it does have a negative impact on casual drop-in kind of business. So it's a trade-off. It's a trade-off.
For sure. That's very interesting. So going back to the whole online question, Jonelle, do you do a lot of business? Do you do most of your business online or mostly with walk-in and in person?
Well, I mean, there are different facets to our business, like you touched on. Part of it is the showroom, come in, get a gift. And that was why we moved to college, because the bustling foot traffic and wanting to be in a community where people could come in. So there's that. Then I do interior design and custom work that all fall under the umbrella of the home. And we have a separate location on Martin Luther King where we have a carpentry workshop and do upholstery. And then I have my fabric room. So we're kind of a very interesting business in the sense that, and part of that is the first recession. I started as kind of a gift and home decor shop. And when the recession hit in 2008, I was just a couple years open, and it was like, okay, well, what else do I like to do? Well, I'm an artist. I'm a painter. I started selling furniture, and then that turned into a whole other facet. And so that's kind of like what you were talking about with online for, some of the other retails, and focusing on online and getting crafty and thinking about other ways to generate income. So yeah, I mean, we've always sold things online for the past couple of years pretty consistently, but not as much as we are now, with just the major push on our Instagram page and Facebook, and telling people we're doing complimentary. I do complimentary deliveries. If someone buys something and lives in the neighborhood, we'll take it to their house. So yeah, but as far as like the foot traffic that we were depending on prior to COVID, that has been a challenge, because we don't have it, and having to market and try to supplement that online. Yeah, we're working through it, and we're getting, and like I said, for me, more than just online, it's been locking bigger interior design projects and working on those types of things.
Right. I know I feel for you, because I know you just opened that shop 2 years ago now.
A year and a half ago,
year and a half, and you have the perfect location right next to a Trader Joe's, right next to Bart. It's on the walking strip. It's great, and boom.
Well, we've been open the last couple of days. We're busy. Like, I sold furniture yesterday. It's like, so for me, I'm just staying in the positive lane. I don't even want to introduce, it's like, we have to all work together, the community and everybody, to kind of get through this. And I think that's what finds comfort, is like, it's not just me against the world. It's like everyone's dealing with this, in their own realm. So I'm not going anywhere. I love my storefront. I love my neighbors. I grew up in Oakland, and so we'll get through it one way or another. And that's the attitude you have to have.
Yeah. One theme I'm really noticing with all three of you is you're entrepreneurs and business ladies, but you're also very creative. Like you're saying, painter, and you've thought up creative ways to keep your business going over the years. And Andrea, you make well, I don't know all, but you make a lot of your own things. And
Yes.
Joyce, I know how creative Joyce is in putting together her windows, and she's got that artistic eye for building outfits and helping women put them together. So maybe that's the secret sauce, is that creativity that you're passionate about and keeps you going, even when the raw business may not be so good. you still want to keep going and you love what you're doing. Andrea, do you want to?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When COVID first hit and we all had to hunker down, you know, like most people, I went into a short or however long depression for a little while, and I'm like, this is no fun. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Get out of it. So I figured out, okay, if people aren't going to be coming out, I've got to nurture this, you know, turn lemons into lemonade. And a friend of mine is going through some transitions and she needed some work. And I'm like, well, let me give you this opportunity to model. You're gorgeous. You love my clothes love you. And so I've really been embracing this as an opportunity to take the time, which I didn't have before,
Yeah.
because I'm very busy dealing with the minutia of every transaction and holding people's hands, which I'm happy to do and I like doing. I love having that connection with my community. But with this downturn of business, I've got time and I have no shortage of creativity. So my online presence on Instagram and Facebook has really picked up, and I've picked up quite a few followers in the last 6 months. So I'm
I
happy
have
about
to
that.
tell you, I'm a shopper, okay? I love beautiful things. I love fashion. And I think Instagram is fantastic way to sell. And like
Yeah.
all the stores that are using models, it's brilliant. I mean, it's so fun to see the models and the clothes on a human. And then you'll probably start using video too. The IGTV video is a great way to sell. I mean, it's just such a great tool for online. Joyce, I know you're using Instagram to some degree, not quite as much.
But actually, it's pretty good because, you know, I try and post other things too, like food, because I like to eat, you know, and my dog. But every time I do Instagram, I get lots of people, I get lots of my customers. So we've been sold out on a lot of pieces that I posted. Praise God, on Instagram. So yeah,
I've
you know,
I,
I'm very, you
I've
know,
always been trying to encourage Joyce to do more online, but you know what? So you can't change people's stripes
I
if
know, I
they.
know.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
old school. Sorry. But you know, you got to use every tool at your availability now. You know, we're trying to get through this, so anything that helps, I'm all for
well,
it.
even me, Joyce, years ago, like now I've come full circle, but years ago I was like, I didn't even like have, we were cash and check only. Like I didn't want to, I'm like, I'm an artist. I want this to feel like old school, you know, you walk into a different world, but you know, I finally got over that hump. But what I did in the beginning was, you know, I had someone who worked with me. Like I would say, I want these types of pictures. Just take like 10 pictures and email them to me. So it was someone helping like to do the Instagram. Now it's fine. I do it
Right,
myself. But
right.
like baby
Outsourcing.
steps. Yeah.
Yeah, outsourcing is a great thing for something that you don't love to do. I'm a small business person too, by the way. So I mean, I'm not having the challenges you are. I cannot, because I don't own a retail business, but I outsource a lot of things. I figure out what I love to do and what I don't love to do and outsource, right? I mean,
Well,
if
we
you,
can't be good at everything, so it's
that's right. So I'm going to get in the nitty gritty of not too personal questions about finances, so don't worry. But there was the CARES Act passed, and there was the PPP loan, and there's also emergency assistance loan packages. And I'm wondering if all of you were able to take advantage of it, either in the first or second round, and how that experience was for you. Joyce, do you want to start?
Well, the problem, yes, the first round went to all these big chains, which was stupid. It wasn't supposed to go to them. It was supposed to go to small business people, not the Lakers, sorry, and not these big food chains. So the second round, we did get some money, but guess what? Nobody thought COVID would still be going on in August. So all that money's gone. It's gone.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was only supposed to last 2 months, that money.
yeah,
So for
I know.
small business people, it's tough. I mean, I have a second source because my husband helps me out. Yes, we know, but he doesn't fuel money into my business. I have to figure it out every day. Every day, what are we going to do? How are we going to get business and stuff? So we really just have to constantly, you know, just come up with new ideas and keep excited about the business. So now I'm seeing more people come out because they realize COVID's not going away. So you better come out once in a while. It's okay.
Yeah,
It's safe, you know,
yeah,
if you're doing the right things. So you got to have some sense of your normal life a little bit. And guess
So
what?
with you, and so in your case, the PP money was welcome, but it didn't
No, it's gone. It's the
close the
last.
gap.
Yes.
Yeah. What about you, Jonelle?
Yeah, I received the second round of PPP loan, but it's also a sense of chaos even with that. I mean, I was so grateful, and like Joy said, it was for short term, and it did provide like a sense of, but it also comes with an additional to-do list of like,
Yeah,
get all of this, to get it, because the whole concept is like it can be forgiven, and and then with the state of just the presidency and the uncertainty, like just so many
I
things that
know. It
so
doesn't
it's
end with getting the money. It's
no, it's
how do you divvy it out and how do you get forgiveness and
and you
right.
had to keep, like, for me, like, I have employees, so I didn't let anyone go even during the beginning. It's like everyone stayed on payroll, and that was like, to get that PPP loan, you had to make sure that no one went off pay, like, so there were all these contingencies that like were stressful to be spending and paying money when there was this big halt. But just like everything else, it's like you find the gratefulness, and that was something that helped, for sure. And now we're kind of, that moment of pause is over, and that, like Joy said, it's like the world is opening back up, and it's like, okay, it doesn't stop there. What's the next creative thing? Like what, and I think it's about contagious energy. We've been open now back to the public Thursday through Sunday. I was busy this weekend, and people
Great.
were crazy, and we're doing it in a safe way. But yeah, it's
So it is I'm getting the feeling for, well, Andrea, you don't know yet because you're focusing on your online and keeping the door shut, but it sounds like for both of you, Joyce and Janelle, that it feels like things are opening a little bit
yeah,
more. Yeah.
a little bit. I mean,
Yeah,
it's day to
it's
day.
still going to take time. It'll
Yeah.
take, and this week, Alameda County is letting, they opened up a little bit more. But I feel for the hair salons because they're not allowed to be open. I mean, at
Yeah.
least we can open our doors. They're not allowed to be open. And what's their source of income?
Right, right. Andrea, what about you with the PPP? Did you find that helpful?
I did. My partner is very business oriented, so he was encouraging me and pushing me, and I'm like, I got to finish my taxes first before I can even apply. So I had to get all that together. Because the bureaucracy of it, the paperwork is just a little bit daunting when you're trying to maintain your everyday kind of storefront, if you will.
Yeah.
So, but I did. I ended up getting both PPP and the EIDL, the Economic Industry Disaster Loan,
Right.
which is the low percentage loan, which was pretty substantial. And I just tucked that away.
Good for you.
Not going to use it. I have a year until they
Yeah.
start charging me interest, and it's a nice nest egg if I need to use it.
Is
but
it like 3 to 5%? What is the interest rate on?
3.5%.
3.5. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
So I
so
was.
did you all go through your bankers individually, personally, or did you go online and apply?
Oh, bank.
Bank?
Yeah.
Because you
But
all
you have
have
to have a
bankers.
personal relationship with your bank. So I went
Yeah.
to Chase. So.
Yeah. Because
Yeah, I did well.
you did too, and Jonelle, you
Mhm.
did too. You
Yeah,
had someone help you.
I went through there, and then my accountant is really good, and she actually, if anyone needs a good accountant, Liz, my accountant Liz is all biz. Like, she posted tons and tons of stuff. She's based in San Francisco, but all about, she does like videos on her Instagram feed, and she's amazing. Yeah.
That's good
So
to know because I'm a financial advisor and I get asked all the time, do you know of a good accountant? So thank
yeah,
you.
Yeah, that's
Thank
good.
you for that. That's really helpful. Well,
yeah,
I'm so glad to hear you all got PPP because I remember in that first round, I was so disappointed to hear that so many small businesses didn't get it. And
Yeah,
then
they did.
thankfully they started it up again and they kept it going for a while. I don't
Yeah.
even know if they gave away all the money or not in the end, which,
Yeah, they did. They did.
they did. It got used up right away the first round and not so much the
It went
second
to all
round.
the wrong people. That's why the first round.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we're going to end. This has been so interesting.
Great.
But I want to give each of you a chance. We're going to use this as a little marketing effort to just talk about your business and just give us a little overview because we haven't done a lot of that yet. And Andrea, why don't you start? And how people can reach you, what your Instagram, what do you call it? Name?
Sure, sure. My Instagram handle is the same as my business name, which is Serana,
Okay.
Serrahna. Serana means to be a queen. And anyone who walks in the door or comes to me online, I'll make sure they feel like a queen after I'm done with them. And you can get all kinds of beautiful, colorful pieces from me. I specialize in color. Indian textiles are just ramped up with so much color. So, and I understand what makes color work on each and every person, considering their skin tone, their hair, their eye color. So you won't walk away looking like a clown. You will walk away looking like a piece of art, a beautiful piece of art. So I dress women of all ages, colors, shapes, sizes. I used to dress women for going to weddings, Indian weddings. Those aren't happening so much right now. But people who just like comfortable cotton, pure fibers, silks, cottons, and all worked with the hand. Beautiful, minute little tie and dye, embroidery stitches, hand crocheted, a lot of like just bespoke kind of garmentry and jewelry. So I hope you'll come and see my collection on both Facebook, Instagram, and about to launch my e-commerce website, serana.com. I believe in September.
Great. Well,
That's
you're a
great.
walking advertisement for
Thank
your
you.
wares. You look
Thank you.
beautiful. You really
Thank you so
do.
much. Thank you.
Jonelle,
Yes.
tell us about you.
Well, so Mignon Decor, when you walk into our showroom, you're kind of taken back. We have our brand is really kind of encompassing old world charm and timeless, one-of-a-kind pieces for the home to complement, modern living. If you're going to buy some things new, every house should have, in our opinion, a couple statement pieces that tell a story. So when you walk in, you can find a larger piece of antique furniture that's been refinished or reupholstered, knowing that we've taken the time to rebuild and save a piece from the landfill and pick out new fabric. You can also come in and find a small gift, be it, like you said, a vase to put a beautiful arrangement in, or a one-of-a-kind textile, rugs. So just pretty much anything for the home. We have another shop in France. My family, my mom lives out there in the Southwest. And so I studied painting in college and traveled a bunch. And I just was always enchanted with artisanal people actually using their hands. So that is something that you will find when you come into our showroom. And you can also talk with us when you come in about our custom services. Like I said, if you have a piece that maybe your grandmother gave you and it has sentimental value, that's something that we can help restore for you. And then we do full-scale interior design services. So I have a huge network. My husband is a carpenter. He builds furniture. So for our bigger projects, we can, build cabinetry or banquettes or whatever, custom furniture. I would tell people to go to our website, which is just mignondecor.com, and there's tons of information about all of our services, and you can shop online and receive a quote by reaching out to us also on Instagram.
Great. Thank you, Jonelle. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Miss Joyce.
Yes, hello. So I just came out of a partnership in 2000, and it was in Burlingame. And I figured, okay, after 2 years break, I was going to open my own store. And I always liked Rockridge. There was something about Rockridge because it had, which is so funny, it always had the dining, but I thought, where's the retail? There's no retail in there wasn't a lot of retail. There was Rockridge Rags, which was consignment. Anyway, so I found a spot right next to them, and I always wanted to have a store that was accessible to women, everyday women. And Oakland was the perfect thing because I came at a high designer end. But women here don't care about wearing Dolce & Gabbana, Prada, Marni, Comme des Garçons. They want really great design, but really good clothes that fits their lifestyle. That's the name of the store, clothes that fit a modern lifestyle. And that was 18 years ago I tagged that line. Now it's clothes that fit a pandemic, so what are you gonna do? Okay. So, but it's always been about really taking care of women and seeing how they could look, because a lot of women really do need help in how they dress, because that's not what they do for a living. We do this for a living. So our customers are lawyers, teachers, moms from all walks of life. Except now, my customers have aged with me, so now a lot of them are retired or not doing as much, and they still need clothing, right? So what are they wearing? That's the key. So going forward now, I have to figure out, it's beyond sweats and athleisure wear, but they still want good design and good quality. So it's taking them to going forward. I just bought spring 2021. I'm very optimistic because who the heck knows what's going to happen next year, But in the European market, you have to buy way ahead in advance. But I am very optimistic because, I know women still love beautiful things for their home and for their bodies. And they still do care about how they look, no matter what age. And we do dress all ages, though, we really do. But our particular customer really has good, discerning taste. So we started doing consignment too, because they have too much clothes and they haven't worn most of this stuff. So we sell it for them, and then they can get a credit to buy something new in the store. So that's also added another dimension to our business.
That's great.
As far as the online presence, I still do Instagram, but I still like the one-on-one, interaction of dealing with women and just seeing what they need and dressing them and taking care of them. So hopefully, they'll stay with us till their 70s and 80s and 90s. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, we still are very optimistic about the future. So it's good.
That's great, Joyce. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cathy, for doing this.
Thank you to all of you. I'm so inspired by you. I'm optimistic too. It feels like things are going to get better, please. Yeah. And maybe they'll get even better in November. Right?
Yeah. Really? Okay. Don't watch the TV this week. It's all the Republicans.
Okay. Well, thank you. And I hope I see you all in your stores soon.
Thank you. Right, thank you so much.
That was the message.
Okay.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.